Hey everybody, so today I'm going to be showing you how to do an oil change on any year Yamaha Warrior 350. Here are the basic tools you are going to need. First off, we will start with a 10mm socket. You can also use a 10mm wrench. For removing your skid plate, that is not necessary, but I do it. 12mm for the back bolts for the skid plate, a ratchet if you're using these sockets. If not, you can again use the wrench. And then you will need a 19mm socket. It doesn't have to be deep well. I only have a deep well 19mm for removing your oil drain plug. Also, you will need a 5mm Allen key to remove your oil filter cover. I'm going to be using a socket, but you can also use one of these Allen keys. I recommend plenty of shop rags or just a regular red rag, a funnel, a clean drain pan, some brake parts cleaner, non-chlorinated, and some oil. I run Rotella T, triple protection, 1540. This stuff works wonders in quad engines. You can also use quad oil, but I prefer to use this because it's a little thicker viscosity. It doesn't burn up as well. This is diesel oil, by the way. This is for a diesel engine, but it works excellent in gas engines. So here we are under the bike, and I've decided that I'm not going to remove this skid plate because that will make the video a little too lengthy. But what you're going to do first is you're going to take your drain pan, you're going to put it under your drain plug right here. Then you're going to take your ratchet with your 19mm socket, and you're just going to crack it loose. Now, I recommend you take some of your brake cleaner and just spray that area down just so it's clean. We aren't getting any dirt in there. Take a shop rag, just clean the area up so everything is nice and clean. And then keep some clean shop rags handy and remove your drain plug. Now there's a screen on this plug, so be careful not to do what I just did. Oh well. So, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your drain plug. You're going to want to clean it off from all your oil. You're going to want to make sure that you get all the crap out of the actual inside of your plug, because this was in your engine and you do not want this circulating back through like break-in materials if it's a new machine or a freshly rebuilt one. You're just gonna get her cleaned up best you can. Clean your hands up a little bit. They don't need to be super clean. Give it a shot. Brake cleaner. This stuff will just get this oil right off. It acts like a really good degreaser. Again, this doesn't have to be spotless. Just decently clean. And now for the fun part that you shouldn't have to deal with if you do as I say and not as I do. And we're gonna have to fish for our screen, unless it is stuck up inside. Nope, it's not stuck up inside, sadly. We're gonna have to go fishing once this oil has completed draining. So while it is draining, what we are gonna do, we're gonna move our drain pan off to the side a little bit. And we're going to grab our either 5mm Allen wrench or a 5mm Allen socket. Looks like this. This is what your socket will look like. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna remove these 3 bolts right here for your oil filter. Loosen them incrementally. And then just take them the rest of the way out. Starting with the top one. There's one bolt. Set that out on the floor. As you can see, there's already some oil draining. And there goes our oil filter back into the oil. Figures. Okay. So, now, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your clean rag again, and you're going to simply clean out inside of your oil filter housing. Again, doesn't have to be spotless. Just want to get any shavings or clumps, gum out of there. As you can see, that is pretty clean in there right now. Wonderfully machined surface. Don't want to scratch that up. You want to keep a good seal. And now the fun part. Time to go fishing. Gotta get our filter out for inspection and our screen out because we need it. So here's our filter. Just put that in its case. Here's our screen. Oh, I just dropped it in there again. Whoops. It's because I got the camera on today. That's why I'm so jittery. Okay, now just simply put all our pieces back together. So let's continue with our oil change. So already looking at our oil filter, I can see that we definitely have some break-in shavings in here. See all that stuff in there. It's not the best, but I did do a top-end rebuild on this, so this is to be expected. So we're gonna set this to the side, and we're gonna go and grab a new filter off the shelf. Right there. Here we go. This should be the exact same filter, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, we got the exact same filter. So simply throw your old filter away. Not gonna need it. And what you're going to do is you're going to put your new filter in. It's going to go in like so. And you're going to have your rubber end facing out. Then what you're going to do, well, this I messed up on, is I got extra oil in the filter case or cover. What you're going to do is you're going to slide her on. Gonna have to get the right orientation. This cover will only go on one way. There we go. So, I'm gonna put you guys down. Hopefully you guys can see that. What you're gonna do is you're gonna put one bolt in. Careful not to cross-thread it. And now we can safely put the rest of our bolts in without the cover falling down to earth. Now you're going to want to tighten these bolts incrementally, so you're going to want to do the exact same amount of turns on this bolt as you're going to do the rest of them. So just going to snug her down like so till it won't turn. Now, what I like to do is I'll put my hand on the end of the ratchet. I'll move it maybe a quarter of a turn, not very much. Don't want to strip it. These are steel bolts going into aluminum. Once you have them all tightened, what I'll do is I will promptly hose the area down with some brake cleaner. Clean off the engine and your oil filter casing. And then just clean the oil off of your frame so that way mud does not stick to it, mud and dirt and dust. This will do you wonders when you are trying to clean your bike. My bike is very dirty right now. And there's serial numbers and stuff. You can use those if you're needing to order parts. Now, since we now have our new oil filter in, our oil is completely drained. There's still some drips coming out. You can either let those come all the way out or just leave it. That's up to you. But you're going to want to clean your screen, and in my case this is not dirty at all. So this is safe to just put back in, but I do recommend that you do clean these screens out before you reassemble this whole entire system. So, what you're going to do now is you're going to take your oil drain plug. You're going to put your screen on it, which has a spring, which can make this a little tricky. I just did that. I just did that. Okay, put your screen on. This is very tricky process. Stick the screen up inside. Careful not to thread, cross thread your plug. And you can just tighten it down, but I would recommend before you even grab onto the wrench, clean all the oil off of your hands. It's not all of it, but just the majority of it if you're fishing for your plugs like I was. So with your 19mm, you're going to simply just snug it up for now. And then you're going to want to get another rag, saddle, and just wipe the area down. Spray it with some brake clean. Wipe the area down. And now we are ready to fill this thing with brand new oil, check for leaks, and be ready to ride for the season. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to unscrew your dipstick right here. Wipe the end off. And then what I do is I just stick it right there in the brake pedal. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your funnel, you're going to put her in the hole there, and you're going to simply put your oil in. Again, this is Rotella. I only use this Valvoline bottle as a measuring device. I believe this bike takes 2.5 quarts. But we will see. Second quart right here. Gonna stop and we're gonna check our level. So if you have a bottle like this, you can just take your funnel, stick it in, it saves you a mess. To check your oil, you're gonna want to stick your dipstick all the way in, screw it all the way down. Doesn't have to be tight, just snug. And we still need more oil because it is not showing up on the dipstick. So put our funnel back in, bottoms up. We are just barely starting to show oil on the dipstick at 1 and pretty much 2 quarts. So this is going to be 2 quarts right here. So at this point in the video, I forgot to say it, but I recommend taking your quad for a quick test ride just to make sure that everything still works correctly. I just forgot to say it, so I figured I'd add this in. So now that we have our helmet on, we're going to just take her for a quick little run and see how she is. Driving one-handed is not the best idea, but that is how you change your oil in a Yamaha Warrior 350 of any year, of any variation. It is exactly the same for all years. They never really changed this bike. It is a really tough to kill bike, lots of fun to ride, very torquey. Not really a speed machine, but it'll get going pretty good on you. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. Leave a thumbs up if it helped you. Put a comment down below if you'd like to see more instructional videos on quads or whatever. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.